Dark Horse was written and directed by Todd Solondz, and it stars Jordan Gelber, Selma Blair, and Christopher Walken. It tells a story about two individuals who are in their 30s in Arrested Development. Both are living at their parents' home. This one guy, he wants to make something out of his life. He wants to be above his younger brother, who is a doctor, and he's kind of the favorite in his eyes to the parents. And the woman is living at her home and she's always depressed, and so he's trying to get her out of her funk. And as their romance, if you want to call it that, sort of blossoms or dies or however you see fit, stuff happens that is very odd, and it's kind of about this guy who's trying to find his path, discover what he's meant to do in life. And in all honesty, I'm really not sure what to make of this film. It's very unfair to compare to The Dark Knight Rises, but unlike that film, I really felt like I was watching a movie. This was by no means an experience. This was like watching a movie. During some of the scenes, I felt like I was watching two actors rehearse on a stage at a film school, and I was just some random person observing their performance on the monitor. And despite not being the writer-director, there were times where I honestly felt like saying, "Cut! Okay, just, no, stop, okay. Here's what you gotta do." People would have thought I was pretty weird if I got up and said that, so I avoided doing that. The cast overall was pretty decent. No one really stood out. I liked Christopher Walken and Justin Bartha, who was in The Hangover. I thought those two did a really good job. I mean, they weren't in it for very long, but for what they were given, they were good. I didn't think that they cast Selma Blair right. I think they should have chosen somebody else. And in terms of the main character, I didn't like him really at all, and I'm not quite sure if that was the intention or not. It was partially the writing and partially the actor portraying this character. And the film overall just felt longer than it really was, which seems to happen a lot. I think it's like an hour and 25 roughly, and it felt more like an hour and 45. For me, watching this film was kind of like you're at the hospital and you're at the bedside of this relative who you're not very close to, and you're just waiting for them to wake up from this coma, and they're just not waking up. But you know for a fact that they're gonna wake up, but it's just the more and more you wait, the more you become agitated, and literally, like, by the time they wake up, you're like a second from being out the door, and you just never want to see them again. That sounds depressing, I know, but this film is depressing. Consistently throughout the film, there are these dream sequences, and a majority of the time, you don't even know that the dream sequences at all. I really got tired of that after like the third time, and I just didn't feel like I was given a coherent story. I don't mind at all if films use dream sequences if it's for the purpose of the story, but here I just felt like it wasn't even used for that. I just feel like it was put there just to be there. And there was a certain bit at the end which made absolutely no freaking sense to me. I was just sitting there in the theater going, why the hell is this happening? It literally makes no sense. And I'm pretty positive that even if I were to watch it again, which I'm not, it still wouldn't make any sense. So I do not recommend this. Don't Netflix it. If one of your friends or family members approaches you and is like, hey, you want to go and see this film? Just say no and then go see The Dark Knight Rises again. Unless, of course, by the time this gets to your theater, Batman is out of the theater. In which case, you should just go back and watch The Dark Knight, or Batman Begins, or really just any Nolan film will do. I'm gonna give Dark Horse 2 out of 5 stars. If anybody is watching this review who did in fact like the film and thought it was a good film, all I gotta say is, good for you. I'm happy that you liked it. I don't see what you see, but good for you.